Hello. So I spent the day editing, not the whole day, a couple hours today, um, editing a video from my partner's birthday in January. So we had gone out and gone to the Science Center and we had filmed a bunch of stuff. So I was just cutting it together today. And it was reminding me of what makes for easy editing because there are things that you can do to save your time when you're trying to edit video, and I have learned this the hard way. In If you go and you have a look at my first video, I left a link to that in the description. You can tell that it took a long time to edit because there are not very big chunks. Like the chunks are really, really small, so it's like 4 words cut, 4 words cut, and it took days to edit because of that. And it was me not being able to string together like a whole thought almost. I was really inexperienced being on video, and I just didn't, I was really afraid to say the wrong thing. And so I ended up just not saying anything. So I get halfway through a sentence and then not be quite sure about what the next thing was I was going to say. And I'd also talk really fast. So I'd sort of stumble and then I'd be like, ah, like, and then I'd have to stop. And so my in learning that this is what it takes to edit a video, like doing that editing process, I've also learned how to save time doing that. So here are my best tips. Probably my number one tip for saving time when you're editing your videos is do as much with the camera as you can. So if you plan to have fewer edits, then it will take less time to edit. I know that sounds a bit straightforward, but it's not as intuitive as, or at least for me, as I thought it probably should be after now having known that. But so plan what you're going to say, not necessarily like word for word, but have an idea of what you want to talk about. And if you're not a strong public speaker, or you don't have, like, you don't feel like you're a strong public speaker, then I would script it out a little bit more tightly than if you're happy to just improvise it. I wouldn't script it entirely because you don't want to be memorizing something. You want to just sort of speak about what it is that you want to talk about, but definitely have a plan for what you're gonna say, like, and what the video is gonna look like. So that includes if you're doing a video that's not necessarily just you speaking, you want to have a plan for what your shots are gonna look like and what the order and the flow of the video is gonna look like, because if you have to be making big like structural changes in editing, that takes a long time. This planning also helps you in getting the least amount of footage possible, which I know sounds a bit counterintuitive. Like, certainly with photography, like, you want to get as many photos as possible, because if you get like one in a roll or something, I mean, we don't have rolls of film anymore, but if you get one good photo in a roll of film, apparently that was supposed to be a good thing. But on the video side, if you get, 25 minutes of footage, it's going to take you 25 minutes just to watch the footage. So you're looking at probably a couple hours at least of editing, just because you have so much footage to go through. So definitely try and get as few takes as possible when you're doing your video, when you're creating your videos. And that goes back to planning, to really understanding what your video is going to be and what you're going to say, and just planning to not edit. Plan to not edit. And if you are going to edit, so there's a couple of videos that I've done. One that comes to mind where we did a little animation, and we planned that beforehand. So we said, okay, we're going to animate little octopuses on my hand. Octopodes. I don't know what the plural for that is. So we knew we were going to do that. So I like planned for that movement, and we were very clear about where we were going to animate that. But if we hadn't been beforehand, that would have been really hard to do, because my hands would have been all over the place, and trying to stick an animation in after the fact is really hard to do. I mean, all animations are after the fact, but having the idea after is tough to do. So definitely my best tip for saving time in editing is to try and do it all in one take if possible, and to plan to not edit. So plan your video as well as you can. There was a tip that my partner gave me right before I jumped on here, which was to make your edits really simple. This doesn't save you time necessarily. Well, I mean, it does if you have simple edits. It doesn't take as long as like complicated edits, but fancy edits don't age well. Like if you have like sparkles that are like or star wipes, or when the video used to like turn around into the other shot and stuff like that, like that's a trend and it dates the video. So if you want to create something that lasts a long time, then don't do stuff like that. Make them just really clean, sharp cuts between your scenes. If you have any questions about editing, definitely let me know in the comments. I will do my best. I'm a pretty beginner editor, but I'll do my best to answer you. I would love to know though, do you create video for your business? And why or why not? I clearly do. Because you're watching one now. But let me know in the comments, do you do video for your business? And if you do, if you don't, tell me why. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you tomorrow.